Well, it's been quite the long time since I've made a video, probably close to a month. But I've got a lot done on the Cobra here, and we're pretty much done with everything. I just kind of got sick of making video updates every week or so. There were a few hang-ups with the Procharger install, and I'll probably cover those in a separate video. But for the most part, as you can see, pretty much done. Like I said, I just wanted to focus on getting the car done and not even have to worry about doing videos, because I really want to drive this thing, and I have a lot of appointments next week. I have an appointment to get the exhaust done, so I got to tow it there with my new truck, and after they do the exhaust, I got to bring it somewhere, and they're going to help me put in the gauges. I really don't like putting in gauges, so I'm just going to pay someone to do that. I've got the Procharger branded mechanical boost gauge, autometer electric fuel pressure gauge, and the AEM wideband gauge. It's kind of backwards there, you can't really see it. Then I got the triple gauge pillar there. So Monday's exhaust, Wednesday is the gauge install, and then Thursday is the dyno tune. So we got a busy week next week, so I had to get the car done this week. Today I actually finished the very last thing I had to do, and that was to put in the fuel pump, and that's the BBK drop-in fuel pump. It's pretty easy to put in. The hardest part of this was actually disconnecting the fuel lines that go in here. That was a real pain in the ass. I ended up spraying them with PB Blaster, and then buying some of those metal quick disconnect fuel line tools and prying on it with some pliers, and eventually I got the lines off. So I'm going to put that fuel tank back in this weekend, change up the fuel pump, and then just top the car off with fluids. And I also got to put in the Procharger computer chip, and I should be able to start this thing and go from there. I don't know if I actually haven't taken any videos in a while, so you can see I got the front rims on, the front wheels and tires on there. With the wide 305s back there. This is the intercooler, and I'll take a better video when it's outside of the garage, but intercoolers in there is a really tight fit, but we made it work. Had to relocate that bar there that you see, or that tube, is basically the power steering cooler line, so I had to relocate that a little bit. Trim some of the bumper guards up in here, and you can't really see it, but there was some customizations I had to do to make that fit in there. And this is just where the intercooler piping comes down. There's my mass airflow, and then it goes from the mass airflow through the fender right there and into the throttle body. Just a few things on the Procharger install itself. This right here, this intake tube, is not part of the Procharger kit. This is actually an Anderson power pipe, and that actually relocates the air filter down here behind the bumper. And supposedly that has been proven to give these cars an extra 1 to 3 pounds of boost and an extra 20 horsepower or so. Some people have even reported, an extra 40-50 horsepower just by adding that there. That wasn't the only reason why I decided to go with the Procharger power pipe. The other reason is because the stock intake, or the stock power pipe that came with the Procharger kit, was plastic, and it basically was a lot smaller than this, and it put the filter like right about here, and it just really didn't fit. So it was a really bad fitting intake, so I decided to go with this one. Looks cooler, makes more power, and fits better. It was a real pain to get in there, to shove both of those pipes into that fender well. In fact, I still got a little bit of cleaning up to do in there, as you can see. I had to do some cutting in the fender well to get that to fit. But overall, it wasn't a bad job. The hardest part of the entire Procharger install was probably getting this intake to fit inside that fender well, and getting that that intercooler pipe there to fit next to it, and also getting the intercooler to fit inside the between the bumper support brackets. I'll just give you, maybe bring it a little bit closer to the piping, maybe you can kind of see. But the Procharger discharge pipe goes under the car there, as you can see, and then comes around right here into the intercooler. Pretty good install, pretty good clean install. Just took a lot of time to get things to fit. There were a lot more customizations than I expected, way more than what was said in the manual. It was a pretty tough job. I wouldn't say tough. It was just more like it just seemed like nothing fit perfect, and I always had to tweak things and make customizations and spend hours researching online in the Ford SVT forums or the Mustang forums to see what other people were doing. And I probably spend 80% of my time in here on that table over there on my laptop researching why something wasn't working or how to do something better. So I guess if I was to do one of these again, I could probably get it done in a weekend, no problem, now that I know what to do. But just be prepared. If you go with the Anderson power pipe like I have here, just be ready to struggle with that, to get that pipe to fit in there next to your intercooler pipe, because it takes some work. It really does. You know, getting that intercooler to fit, it just takes some work. So that's pretty much it for today. Just wanted to make an update because I haven't made a video in quite a long time. Next video I make, hopefully I'll have this thing fired up and loading onto the trailer and bringing it down to the exhaust shop, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you in the next video.